Hey everyone, it's Teacher Angela here with Vipkid, and I'm bringing you a video all about difficult mock classes. We're going to talk about 4 scenarios that I hear about from my referrals that were less than ideal. But first up, if you would like my personal help going through the recruiting process, maybe you're getting ready for the interview or trying to get through these mock classes, I am one of Vipkid's top 5 global referring teachers. I'm in Club Orange and I have a high success rate. I can help you out. Just log in and under my account, add referral code ANGEL0084. And then don't forget to shoot me an email at thevipkidcoach@gmail.com. And please subscribe so you don't miss any other videos I have coming out soon. If you haven't yet applied for Vipkid, the link to do so is down in the description. So in this video, we are going to talk about 4 difficult mock class situations that I've heard about from applicants that you may have faced or that you may face. And the first one is an uncooperative mock class mentor. The second is tech issues. The third is time constraints. And the fourth is awkward TPR, or just an awkward interaction trying to pretend that mentor is a child. So I'm going to go into more detail about each of these scenarios and give you some tips to handle them. But I want to remind you that these mock classes are your job training, and each mock class only involves 10 minutes of actual teaching time. Most jobs require way more job training than that. That's only 10 minutes of showing Vipkid that you know how to implement their teaching style. Expect to have to do more than 1 mock class, because this is the only chance you get to have feedback on your teaching style. If they just set you loose in front of students and you messed up, the student is going to tell you messed up. They're just not going to keep booking you. And you want bookings. You want to make money, right? So now is the time to get feedback. Oh, tweak this. Oh, do this. And then you will be refined in front of the students and gain regulars and be a great teacher. So now is your practice time. This is good. Doing multiple classes is a good thing, okay? All right, let's talk about mock class mentor behavior. Was your mock class mentor uncooperative? Were they distracted? Did they seem like they were in a hurry, or did they act kind of aloof? I totally get how frustrating it is to have practice and have it in your mind how you think things are going to go, and then have them go a totally different way. And I feel for you. I want you to take these as learning opportunities, because with real students, kids will be kids. You are going to have uncooperative kids. You are going to have kids who don't want to be there. You are going to have tired kids. You're going to have distracted kids. So your mentor is giving you a great opportunity to practice keeping on that game face and pushing through, getting those objectives across, getting creative to get their attention back, and not getting thrown off when things don't go as planned. Because let's be honest, kids will be kids. Things will happen, and you need to be able to push through and stay professional. So a mock class mentor giving you a less than ideal scenario is going to refine you into a better teacher that can handle less than ideal scenarios with kids. And even kids who are giving you a less than ideal scenario deserve a great class, right? I would argue some of the perfect students don't even need a teacher. They know how to study. They know how to learn, right? The kids who are distracted or who aren't getting it or who are stubborn, they need a good teacher who can adapt to them and teach them and help them. We learn the most from situations that don't go our way. They force us to bend and to learn. So use those situations as learning opportunities. If you feel like any behavior was inappropriate, there is a link to a survey where you can send any comments about it, but usually the mock class mentor is trying to give you a taste of a real class. All right, the second less than ideal circumstance are tech issues. Was there a lag in your audio or your video? Was it freezing? Did the slides fail to load? Or did the mock class mentor tell you to check your internet speed and to reschedule? These things happen all the time, and I am so sorry, because I know the nerves that surround these mock classes, and you're so excited and nervous, and then to just have to wait longer to do it is so frustrating. So to help you out with tech issues, keep in mind that Vipkid recommends that your internet speed is at least 20 mbps, and you want the lowest ping rate possible. So you can Google these things. Google internet speed test, and there will be sites that will test your internet speed. That you can Google ping test, and again, you want that number low, right? Internet speed, you want it fast. 20 mbps or higher. Ping, you want low, okay? If other people are streaming and using the internet during your mock class, it could slow the internet down for you. So try to schedule your mock class during a time when no one else is going to be streaming and using the internet, or take that Ethernet cord out of the router and plug it straight into your computer so you get direct access to the internet. All right, the third less than ideal scenario is feeling like you're in a time crunch. Did your mock class mentor cut you off and act like they were in a rush? Did you notice the time and start rushing during the slides just to finish? Did you get feedback that you think was unfair because you ran out of time or you were just trying to finish the slides? Was your mock class mentor a slow reader or a slow responder, so you felt it took longer than you had planned for? You will never fail for timing alone. If you do each slide perfectly, but don't get to all the slides, you will still pass. Timing is a skill that will always be tested because every student is different. There are some students who will be raised with parents who teach them English so they can speak it really well, but they can't read it, right? Children in the United States are taught to speak English and then they have to learn to read and write. This happens sometimes. Or we get students who can read really well because they were taught the alphabet and they were taught phonics, but they can't free talk with you. Every student requires the teacher to adapt to them and gauge them at the beginning. And this is why Vipkid won't fail applicants just for timing. Now that said, what you should do is practice with a timer set to 1 minute, go through each slide with that timer so that you get a feel for how much material you can cover in that minute, okay? But then during your mock class, don't stress about the time. Because if you start stressing about the time and you don't repeat anymore and you don't extend and you forget to use props, you're going to fail. The timing is going to wreck you. But if you just take each slide and do it exactly how you practiced, with your props, with repeating 2 times ping pong style, with correcting them, and you run out of time, you're still going to pass if you hit everything else. Practice with a timer, practice in a 10-minute time frame, but then in the actual mock class, do not rush. Do everything on a slide and then move on, run out of time. But do well on each slide until that timer is up. And your mock class mentor will cut you off because they're setting a timer. That's part of the gig. Timing is important because in real classes, those parents might have things scheduled after this lesson. You need to go. You might have a class after, back to back. You need to get out of that class in time. So they're not going to give you extra time. You just won't have it with actual classes. So timing is important, but it's not a deal breaker. All right, the fourth less than ideal circumstance I hear about is that the mock class just felt unnatural. Using TPR wasn't natural. My prop handling was awkward. The interaction with the mentor pretending to be a kid was just weird. I totally get that. TPR is a learned skill. And when people forward me this feedback, I always ask about how they practiced. And more often than not, they did not practice in the practice classroom, which looks just like the real thing. And they did not practice with full-on TPR and props, just like the real thing. So then when they're in front of a mentor, already nervous, they fumble with their TPR or they forget it or they're awkward and slow to do it. They don't know where to grab their props. They hold their props in front of their face because they didn't practice holding it up to the side. The trick to overcoming those problems is practicing in the practice classroom with full TPR. Do 1 slide at a time, over and over again with props and TPR until it's as natural to do the TPR with a word as it is to say the word. That grabbing that prop is already in your brain when you're saying a word, and you know exactly where you're going to hold it so you don't block your face. Have a system for your props so that you know exactly where they are on your desk to grab them. Practice with your system. Maybe they're in order. The first slide's props are right next to you, and then it goes back 2, 3, 4. Other side is 5, 6, 7, whatever. Come up with a prop system. And the whole mentor pretending to be a child thing, that's just awkward. But the more you practice and the more firm you are in these skills, the easier it will be. Immerse yourself in that mock class, right? You are acting. They are acting. So I promise that teaching actual students is way less pressure. I hope that these tips were helpful. If you encounter any of these scenarios, I hope you remember this video and you overcome and you pass your mock class, because I promise teaching for Vipkid is the best job in the world. Again, if you'd like my help, I am happy to help you. It's what I do full time. Log in, add my referral code, ANGEL0084, add it before your mock class because they stop accepting them once you're hired. Again, email me, drop a comment. I appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. And as always, happy teaching.